quick review of some of the pictures. It's called Head Case. It's in Appleton. Sometimes the information changes over time. This is called I Would Walk a Mile. And initially it was 1 mile from, exactly 1 mile from one of my caches, but that cache has since been archived, so that doesn't count anymore. The tail points the way. Here's what I put out. I like to read. I was bored one day, so I decided to make a puzzle. So I got out 15 quotes. So you got to look for all 15 numbers. But I scrambled every one of them. And every one of them in a different system. So some of them might be like, okay, the first one is just scrambled letters. Roman numerals replacing letters, word scramble. These are just plain number substitutions. So in order to make you do all 15, I also then did some math on the bottom where you have to do some adding and subtracting. Somebody found it right away. Cashier down in the Racine area, check cashier, she got to 1,000 caches and stopped that logging under that name and changed it to something else. Thought 1,000 was a nice round number, so she left it. And anyway, she did this one. It's like, oh, I know this. Took me a while to figure out the cache, but what's the subject? Deep thought. First one, come on, deep thought. Okay, Marvin. Hang on to your towel, it's important. A bypass? And now I just got a brain fart.
Excuse me, could you tell me what you're talking about?
These are hints. What's the name of it? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Deep Thought is the big computer that they made to solve the ultimate answer to life, the universe, and everything. And they built this computer, and they said, can you solve it? And they said, yes, I'll have to think about it. They said, how long? 7 billion years. What? Okay, so they come back in 7 billion years, this is, you got the answer? Yeah. You're not gonna like it. What's the answer? No, you're not gonna like it. It's 42. It's a science program, science fiction. So, the answer to this is 6 times 9 equals 42, right? How much is 6 times 9? 42. 6 times 9 is 42. It's in base 11 or 13. So it's a different base number that you have to convert. So the coordinates are right here, all you gotta do is convert it. But the whole background here is Deep Thought, the computer. Marvin is another computer. All this, hang on to your blank or whatever, paranoid android, etc. And then on the bottom it says 6 times 9 is 42. So again, if you know the story, you got it there. If this guy's here, or if anybody knows him, I apologize in advance because I'm going to criticize him. Were you the one that told him? It's a difficult puzzle because you got to look up this information. Oh, this is the one. The other one was on trains. But it was like multiplying these things, and he had a digit something like this that was 1 digit short. So it was like you were never going to get the right answer. So there was no proofreading involved in it. And then the final coordinates, what you figured them out, was 50 feet, 60 feet off, something horrible. So again, it's an example It's an inaccurate puzzle. And so you're not going to come up with the right answer.
Mark, sometimes puzzles are done by 10 and 12-year-old kids too.
Yeah, I don't know who this kid is, but it just didn't work.
So you never know which way to get.
Right, you don't know ahead of time. I ended up talking to Dave or one of his groups, and he told me, oh, it's off, it's wrong. Yes?
That website you mentioned earlier, that WGA website that you go to forums and the puzzles, and it shows the examples that you showed up there?
Not all of them, it's just background information, other sheets and things.
Gotcha. Do they kind of like break down how to solve some of those puzzles?
No, it's just pretty much what I'm covering here.
Okay.
There was, or every now and then you hear about a website that gives you answers to puzzles, but they usually don't last. I don't know what happens to them. They go away or something, but here's an example again of if a puzzle isn't proofread. There's a cashier up in Appleton and people laugh at him saying, oh, I proofread the puzzle because I went out and solved it and found it, and then it's not correct, and I had to tell them what the right thing was. So people don't proofread their puzzles.
Was there a Geocaching on
No. But even that, it's like, you would never come up with it because if one of these 6-digit numbers is missing a digit, you're never going to get it. After I did so many of these squares, I put one on in favor or in tribute to him. The text is just a bunch of garbage, and there's links in it to all sorts of puzzles, and they quote things, and there happens to be the right number of different paragraphs to everything. It's just all misleading, but it's intentional. And I had to remember what this was. He had a puzzle where you had to look at his webpage of some type, a bookmark or something, to find the answer, and I did the same thing on here. I put the coordinates on one of my bookmarks. And it says it's right there. It says this is the coordinates to the other puzzle you're working on. This is a puzzle down in Illinois. And it's spam spelled backwards. It really threw me for what's maps? And they got the punctuation wrong. It's like, what? It is a language called spam mimic. It's all this gobbledygook. It's like one of these stupid emails that you get that's just all full of garbage. You have to cut and paste it, put it into a spam converter, and it punches out the numbers. So it's a way of hiding information inside an email that has just garbage in it. It's a matter of if you know it, you found it. If you don't, you probably will never figure it out. I think Enigma is still active down here. I can't remember. This is based upon the World War II German encryption system. And apparently there's a decryptors on the internet. I think Honey Bunnies is the one that for our group. But again, it's Enigma right out. You know that's what it's about. Elementary Dear Watson. And again, it's based upon the elements. This is another example of a puzzle that will come out about once a year in Wisconsin in different places. They have different titles to them, but you'll see them come out. And I'm sorry, before I mentioned all the miscellaneous things, this is the one where I have links to all different types of puzzles and pictures and all sorts of gobbledygook in it. It's intentionally misleading. One of the pictures in the end gives you the coordinates. But then you have to take 1 point off of every single one in order to get to it. I did it in order to get a 5 puzzle, and DJ wouldn't publish it.